Hey folks, this is JW. So, we're going to talk about modern gun school. I recently enrolled in MGS after probably over a year of just trying to decide what I wanted to do as far as gunsmithing is concerned. Now, I've been a law enforcement officer. I've carried guns and worked with guns for years. I went through Smith& and Wesson's MMP Armors course a bunch of years ago, because that's what we carried as duty weapons when I was working on a federal contract, which was part of Federal Protective Services, Department of Homeland Security. Basically, we carried the MMP 40 caliber handguns, and every day when we were doing armed security on federal sites. So that's kind of what got me into the world of wanting to be an armor. And so over the years, I started off in law enforcement back in '01, and I got out at the end of 2015 and just kind of worked for a bunch of different agencies, kind of jumped back and forth between law enforcement, security, investigation work, and stuff like that. So, working on guns, as the older I get, the more I think, hey, I would like to do this. And so I researched, Sonoran Desert Institute, AGI, Modern Gun School. There was Penn Foster, and and I'm sure every course has their pros and cons, and as far as what makes their programs good or bad. And what attracted me to Modern Gun School was the the amount of material that they teach you in their advanced course, the projects that they send you, materials that you have to do, metalworking, woodworking, stuff of that nature, that you're graded on. And I felt like the price was right. I think for Modern Gun School, and I'm just trying to give you this information to help you make a decision for yourself. It's not necessarily saying that MGS is better than anybody else. I'm just going to share my journey through each level that I complete with Modern Gun School. Each unit, and I believe there's 17 units in the advanced gunsmithing course, which equals, I think, right around 65 lessons. So 17 units, and each unit has multiple lessons in it. So what I'm doing, I think other people may have done this as well, is I'm supplementing my studies with Modern Gun School with video reference materials from AGI, as well as stuff I've found on YouTube. There's a lot of good resources on YouTube. You just have to be careful because some people may not necessarily be teaching the right methods. But when you want to learn how to take a gun apart, for me, Modern Gun School will describe it and they'll give you diagrams and they'll write it out for you. But I can only go so far with just reading something. I have to see it. I want to see it firsthand. I want to watch it over and over and study those movements. It's called like mental mapping. I'm intellectually learning the material, and then when I have the opportunity, I will use my hands and actually do it whenever possible. As far as working on different kinds of guns, the kinds of guns that I like personally, I think my specialty are AR-15s, AR-10s, the AR platform, the Stoner rifle, and I also am focusing on and specializing in Glocks and MMPs, and maybe some 1911 stuff. 1911s are amazing guns. It's just a very, very highly specialized field, and there are some really good people out there that are doing some really good work. I would like to know, and of course, going through an advanced gunsmithing course through MGS, I will learn a lot about these different types of firearms. But there's nothing that replaces hands-on. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about what guns or how many guns that I own on a social media platform like this. Let's just say that, you know, I am working on learning as much as I can with the resources that I have. Now, when you enroll in modern gun school, you'll probably have to you'll see their ads on Facebook and stuff. And I think that's where I first heard about them. I saw MGS on Facebook. But you'll go to their website, which is just look up Modern Gun School. And I'm logged into my student account right now, so that address is going to be a little different. But when you first enroll, you have to decide what kind of program you want to do. You want to do the basic, advanced, or the advanced 2. And the only difference between the advanced and the advanced 2 is you have a firearms build at the end. Meaning it's all the same 65 lessons, 17 units. But at the end of those, on the advanced 2 program, they'll send you through an FFL. You'll get a kit for a rifle, like an AR. I think they have black powder. They do a Glock clone or a 1911. I opted not to do that because it was a lot more expensive. And I've got all the resources that I need as far as building. I've got parts to build an AR right now. So I felt like it was I didn't need to spend that money to do that. So what you'll do is you'll decide. So what I did is I decided on the advanced gunsmithing program. I paid like a $99 down, and I think if I remember correctly, it's like $89 a month that will be deducted from my bank account. And it's about a 2-year program. You can get it done sooner, but I would encourage you to internalize these, what you're learning. And what I do, once you pay and they approve everything, you'll have access to your study materials online in PDF format immediately. However, they do send you a binder with your materials and all that separately. And you'll get a welcome kit as well. And this was a nice touch. It has an introduction letter addressed to me. And basically, just Zeke Stout's the one that his signature and name are on this letter. If you look up Zeke Stout on YouTube, you'll see him. I think he used to be with Sonoran Desert Institute. I don't know if anybody's supposed to know that. MGS didn't tell me that, but I heard that from somebody else. Full disclosure here, folks. I think Zeke was part of SDI, and he jumped ship, and he came over to MGS and made some changes and improvements. And he's the director of MGS now. And so I got the letter. It's kind of hard to see. It's kind of washed out by the light. But it says, "Dear Jeffrey, it is a pleasure to welcome you as a new student at MGS Trade School. Thank you for choosing us. You will find a wealth of interesting and useful information in your 65-lesson advanced gunsmithing program. I want to encourage you to begin your studies as soon as possible. In doing so, you will be ready to submit your first exam and be on your way to completing your course. Remember, Jeffrey, MGS Trade School is your school. Your success is our goal. We are here to help with any of your questions or concerns. Once you get started, you will learn that a little work each day goes a long way to becoming a better gunsmith. You will gain confidence, personal satisfaction, knowledge, and skills from completing your program." They give you your student number, and tell you that it's pretty important to put that on all correspondence. There's another letter that you get. It does indicate that you need to submit a copy of your GED or high school diploma. You can do that online once you get into your lessons. Basically, you email them a copy of your diploma. And let's see. Basically, so there's that. There's another kind of a generic letter. This course has been prepared with the assistance of Ralph T. Walker Arms Company, Selma, Alabama. We thank all the manufacturers and suppliers who assisted in the preparation of this curriculum. Blah, 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 blah. So, and then there's some frequently asked questions on the back. This is very helpful. Question 1 is, when will I receive my projects? It says your projects are mailed out with the corresponding units. Please refer to the program overview sheet for more information. Answers questions about how your grading system works, how your exams and projects are handled. Am I allowed to take an exam more than once? How can I change my student information? What happens if I don't complete my studies within my tuition period? They will offer you a student study extension for a nominal fee. Just really helpful information. In the front part of this, you get some more information just about how to log in, how to do your first project. And now going through this, project number 1 will be stock finishing. That's sent out with Unit 4. Right now, I've just finished Unit 1, but that's sent out with Unit 4 and mailed with tracking through UPS. They do ship UPS, not Postal Service. When I initially signed up, I used my post office box, but they contacted me and said, hey, we need a physical address because UPS will be delivering this to your house. Something to keep in mind. Stock finishing is Project 1. Project 2 is precision, if I can even say it, precision filing. Project 3, silver soldering. Project 4, hand tool fabrication. Projects 5 and 6 are stone polishing and bluing preparation. Project 7 is micro measurement, and that's sent out with Unit 11. So those are the projects for the advanced. Now, again, if you do the advanced level 2, you'll get a gun kit, basically in parts, that you'll have to put together. And that'll have to go through an FFL. So we have all that. They do send you a printed program overview of all the units, all the lessons. Now, you'll notice when you read in here, and this kind of caught me off guard, but I was pleasantly surprised. You'll notice when you're going through here, you're like, oh, where's the lessons on AR-15s? Well, there aren't any listed. Do they teach every known gun to man? No. You're not going to find much, if any, in like military weapons or firearms that I've seen anyway. Most of these are just commercial, firearms that, the average law-abiding American citizen would go out and buy. But when I got into my online Unit 1, it had a supplementary lesson on AR-15s. So that was a pleasant surprise. Like I said, ARs are kind of my thing. But this is kind of a little bit old school gunsmithing to give you that foundation. Now, they don't teach every known weapon or firearm to mankind, but they teach all the main categories, which a lot of guns have some commonalities that you learn how to work on one, it can cover other brands that are built very similar. So keep that in mind that you're not going to see it listed on here. Lessons on AR-15s. It does have a Glock lesson in Unit 9. But a lot of these are some of the older weapons and firearms, which again gives you that depth and foundation. Because quite honestly, folks, working on Glocks, disassembling Glocks are pretty simple. Much simpler than working on a 38 Smith & Wesson Chief Special, which is going to be in Unit 1, or even a 1911, a Colt 1911, or another brand of the same platform. Glocks are going to be super simple to work on. I've taken them apart. I've worked on them. I've carried them in law enforcement for years. I like them, and they're simple. That's what I like about them. The less parts, the less opportunities for things to go wrong. But they do cover like the 38 Smith & Wesson Chief Special. They do the 38 Smith & Wesson Military and Police, the Ruger Bearcat, the 1911, the Colt 1911, the Ruger Automatic, which is the 22 Ruger Automatic, what they call the standard automatic, which is kind of a cowboy wheel gun. They teach you stock refinishing and repair, Colt single action revolvers, high standard Sentinel revolvers. They even have some lessons on Daisy air rifles. They have lessons on setting up your federal FFL records and licensing, checkering. There's just so much stuff. I'm not going to go through everything, but Unit 1 is what I just completed. And basically, it was all online, but also they sent me the binder. It's a pretty big binder, and it's still got room for a lot of other lessons that will be coming over time. Unit 1 did, in the printed format, did not include the AR-15 supplemental lesson, but it is in your online account. So if you want to print that off, which I will, you can print off the supplemental stuff on your own, punch holes in it, put it in your binder as well. But in the test, you have a PDF format. The tests are open book. You have a PDF format of the test, and they also include the test in your printed materials. And basically, what I like to do is I like to read the test over several times, so I know what to watch for, keywords and things that I watch for when I'm reading the material. It is an open book test, so it's as long as you're paying attention to what you're reading, and it shouldn't be that difficult as long as you're studying on a consistent basis. You take your test online, which is multiple choice, and then you hit submit. It will immediately tell you what your score is, so you don't have to wait. I really like that aspect of it. And that keeps, what you do, it's kind of a combination of the book paperwork and the online and the hands-on that makes it favorable in my eyes. Say, the 38 Chief Special, Smith & Wesson Chief Special, yes, they have diagrams and exploded drawings and things like that describe things to you. But I have a ton of AGI videos, as well as I watch videos on YouTube. So if you don't have the AGI videos, because the AGI covers I've got a lot of videos, AGI, a lot. And I've even got their master gunsmithing course on DVD set too. It's just, it costs a ton of money to go through that program. Um, I bought a used set of DVDs, so I didn't have to spend near the money that you would if you were to go through AGI and spend $8,000 or $10,000 or whatever. Just more money than I could personally afford. And some of the things that I'm doing that I would encourage you to close this is pick up things as you go. This is an Outers. I know everybody talks about Brownell, but Outers makes some pretty good stuff. Get you a gunsmithing screwdriver set. It has Torx bits, screwdrivers, and you want to make sure that you get the right kind of tips that won't tear up the screws on the firearms that you're working on. So this is a cool set. I like this. It wasn't crazy expensive. This is by Outers. I really like that. Another kit that I picked up is this Real Avid. And it's this kit here. And this is for the AR-15. It comes with a hammer with changeable heads and a bunch of punches and tweezers and things to work specifically on ARs, but I would say even more than just that. But very nice chrome set of punches and things that work really well on working on ARs and stuff. Again, that's my thing. I would also encourage you to just pick up things as you go, but get you gun cleaning kits. This one's more specifically for a 5.56 or 223 AR platform, but get what you can there. Other things that you're gonna need, cleaning patches, and man, there's just so many other things. Obviously, good CLP. This is Trimax CLP, and just pick up things as you go. So as you continue studying, you build your library of resources. You build your tools. Some good books like I've got other books on the way, but this pistols, handguns kind of gives you exploded diagrams of different, popular firearms that will help you remember how to disassemble, reassemble, how to, do different things, clean, maybe even troubleshoot some. But having a good extensive library of firearms, manuals, shop manuals, books, like this kind of a book covers a bunch of different firearms, brands and models, but you also have other books that specialize on one brand, one model. Shop manuals and things of that nature. I've got a ton of books on AR-15s, and I'm kind of building my Glock library as well. But so far, after completing Unit 1 of Modern Gun School and taking the test, passing the test, and just going through and learning the information and supplementing that with watching corresponding videos, I feel like that's a great way to approach it. Again, if you don't have AGI videos, get on YouTube. I mean, you can find a disassembly, reassembly video, or even troubleshooting, how to clean it, how to oil it, lube it. You can find that kind of stuff on YouTube for almost just about every gun you could imagine. For as long as YouTube will allow it to be on there. But overall, my first impressions of Modern Gun School is pretty good. Pretty good. I'm impressed. I feel like I've learned something just in the first unit. Yes, the firearms are older, probably stuff that I probably won't have laying around in my shop. But if I ever do, come across something or somebody brings something to me, at least I've got some knowledge of it. And I had read this recently that a gunsmith doesn't necessarily remember how to take apart every firearm that's known to mankind, but they have resources and they know how to look for it. They know how to find the information. They know how to refresh themselves because there's some guns you're going to see a lot of, and then there's some weapons you're not going to see ever, or maybe once or twice. It's pretty safe to say that you may be working on ARs and Glocks and Smith and Wessons and Springfield XDs and Sig Sauer, Ruger and stuff like that. ARs galore. Having books that will help you just do a quick, Cliff's note on, Cliff's notes and refresher on how to work on that firearm is important. And of course, as over time, the more you do it, the better you will get. So my impression of Modern Gun School Unit 1 is definitely favorable. I've liked it a lot. I'm excited and very optimistic about getting through the rest of the units, graduating, and seeing where that takes me. Now, I'm not stopping there. I would encourage you to also look at AGI has some really good armors courses, certification courses, not just the videos, but I do have laying around over there above my TV AGI's law enforcement M4 AR-15 armors certification program. It's a 2 DVD course. I'm planning on testing and getting my certification in that. But they also have the Glocksmith certification program and the rifle M4 AR-15 riflesmith certification program. But those are about $1,000 a piece. So you got to really be committed if you're going to go that route. But my purpose for going through Modern Gun School is I wanted a solid foundation. And then adding armors certifications and knowledge and skills above that just helps build the foundation that I want personally. Not everybody may do it the same way. And again, this is not anything against any other schools. I think all schools have something to offer, but I just have decided to go through Modern Gun School, and I will be doing a review video and discussion for each unit. So there'll be a series of 17 unit videos that I'll post, this being number 1. And then at the end, once I graduate, I'll present my certificate, graduation documents, and my overall final impression of MGS. And then kind of maybe where I go from there. So this is JW, aka Ronin785. Thanks for taking the time to watch this. I hope this information is helpful for you. I hope that it has answered some questions for you. Again, you get printed material as well as on the computer, and you do have physical projects that you have to do. You send them back, they grade them. You can get them to send it back to you if you want to keep it, and of course you'll pay shipping and all that on that. So we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.